remember who we. That's the veil of forgetfulness. Wow. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming to my podcast today, Open to the Universe QHHT. I am Jennifer Martinez. I'm a practitioner of QHHT and many other holistic healing, self-healing tools, practitioner of these amazing tools that will just guide you to your best version of yourself. So today I was listening to my mentors, and of course I am, a practitioner for QHHT, which is quantum healing hypnosis technique. This was developed by the late Dolores Cannon. She was amazing. Her daughter. So she did this for about 50 years and then passed away, of course. You know, it just it happens. She came and did and conquered and she was done. But her daughter still proceeds, and she has a friend, a mentor as well with her, and that's Kaya Wittenberg. They're both amazing. You can follow them on Facebook, Instagram. They're on all the social media. So, I mean, if you feel inclined to do that, you should do that. I was just listening to them, and they were talking about, knowing, living our best self. I mean, being the best version of us we can be. And what does that look like? How does that feel? What's going on in your life to trigger you to become aware of it? I know I go through my own challenges as well. I'm evolving myself, and I am who I am in this life, which makes me aware, but also I have a personality of low self-esteem sometimes. It comes in, maybe I trust that a little bit, and that's something that I'm working on myself. It's hard to imagine that someone who could be a mentor has this struggle, and it's not really a struggle. It's just something that I know that is there, and I'm just a very sensitive person. I've realized that, so I have to do a lot of meditation and working on myself and protecting myself around others who might not be aware that they're putting off a negative vibe. And that's okay. It's all right. It's the world. This is what we do. And until we get to the point of all of us being on the same boat, we're not. We all wake up at different times in our life, maybe not even in this particular life. It may be in your next life or who knows what. Because if you're on my page, you would really want to trust and believe that there are, there is a higher self to you, and your higher self has different facets of personalities and beings that will come in a particular life. And it's just trying to gather all the information on Earth. So essentially, you have to be all things: the abuser, the victim, all of it. As I go through my journey of life, I think, I'm good. Everything is good coming to me. I'm receiving. I'm really working with the law of attraction. And I'm really trying to live my highest self. The greatest version of myself is what I'm aiming towards. But we have to remember, it's like we're an onion or an avocado, like not avocado, what do you call them? Artichokes. There's layers to us. Sometimes we come in, and that's why I love QHHT, because it will bring all this out so that you essentially can live your best self, your best version of yourself. That is exactly why I love QHHT. It gives you the opportunity, so that way this life isn't wasted on negativity. And maybe it's okay that you live that way. Maybe that's what you came to live for, whatever it is. That's why I love it. That's my truth to it. That's my, my passion, my excitement. I've realized that as I go through my journey, there's going to be things that I need to work on that surface. I'm very maybe I'm not someone in the group that would be like outspoken, or, I'm usually like, let me hear your version, let me hear your. So I'm always willing to, well, I'm always open to that. I've always been that way. It's like, well, what do you think? I'm not, I like to be a leader in my own thing, my own worlds, my own group. Uh, but I'm not really for, say, someone who's like, oh, you have to do this. Oh, you have to, or you're not going to make it. No, I'm not that way at all. I'm more like, these are some really cool ways that you can become aware of your surroundings, of like people who are negative, and how you can break the chain, and how you can proceed to really just trust yourself and check your belief system. How were you raised? What belief system got installed into you? Because really, we came here without any kind of belief system. We came here just trusting and loving that the whole fact that we would evolve, that we got to be in a body, and that we get to make choices, and that we can choose good. And that doesn't make us ridiculous because we've chose something good for ourselves. I kind of just go back and forth with that, because I have people that are like, whatever, that's not the real world. And maybe that's not the world that you live in, right? So you really do have to check yourself. Where do you live? What do you believe in? I'm kind of behind, so I'm going to eat my breakfast with you guys this morning. Yeah, so if you hear me eating, excuse me, and hopefully that is okay. What else was I going to say? I wanted to share with you guys just the law of rhythm. So there are universal laws out there: law of attraction, law of rhythm. So when your law of attraction is like, when you start to choose the best things for you, and you start to feel better, and you start to look better, and you start to like do better, that's law of attraction. That's you and your belief system checking yourself as you trust yourself. You trust that. You trust that you're amazing. You trust that you're choosing the best for you, right? But also there's this negative dense energy, and it can't go up to where you trust yourself and you see the best version of yourself, right? There's no drama in that. But there's drama, and there's low density energy in the you're not good enough. There's no way you have a good version of yourself. You'll never do as good as the next person. We're going to compare you to someone who is non-comparable to you. But you're going to trust that more, right? It happens. We see someone else who may be doing a little bit better than us, or maybe who looks a little bit better than us, as that's the reflection, the mirroring that gets represented to us. So there's a belief system. So yeah, you can tell the universe, the law of attraction, hey, these are all the things that I would really love to manifest and have and enjoy, right? But there's this internal part of you. And that's what I'm saying, is the belief system. Do you really believe you deserve them? Do you really believe those are yours? Do you really believe you can find the best version of yourself? And that's essentially what I'm talking about, is like, there's this low, because it can't go up there. It can't go to the best version of you. That low density, bad talk to yourself, shooting yourself down as far as you'll never be good enough. You got to compare yourself to others. You don't have a degree, so you're not going anywhere. That energy cannot go to the best version of you. So that's why you feel the teeter-totter back and forth. You see yourself doing good, you get there, but then all of a sudden that low density energy is like, oh, no, 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 no. You can't go up there. You're not allowed to be your best version of yourself. You don't even know what that means. So then you fall back to the low energy of this, like, it's not like really a demon. It's more just low dense energy. It's dramatic. It's bad talk. It's negativity. And when you accept that, and you realize it, that you don't need that, that is when it will dissolve and you'll be the best version of yourself. And that's why I feel like we teeter-totter. That's why I feel like we kind of go back and forth, because right now is that. And maybe it's not that for you. Maybe you're just barely becoming aware, and that's a beautiful thing too. We're all in different stages of waking up, of becoming aware, of loving ourselves. Maybe we just don't quite love ourselves, right? Not quite yet, but we're getting there. So those are the things you can work on and find affirmations and even have a session with a practitioner in your area, or you can come to me. I'm just going to take a bite of this, so it might be a second. But what else was I going to say? I really wanted to share some things with you guys because, I mean, whatever you can take from each person, little nuggets from each, whoever you're listening to, whoever resonates with you, because there's so many people out there and there's so many people waking up and wanting to put their word out. And I just think we need to be gentle about that and not kind of tell people what to do, but almost suggest some things and say, hey, here's this, hey, here's that tool. Because I feel like when we as light workers go out there and we're like, hey, this is what I found. You have to do it so that you're better. You don't, and that's not the best way to probably do it, because you really can't make anyone do anything. And you can really turn people off as far as when you're like, oh, you have to do this. Oh, you have to do that. Versus, like I was saying earlier, is like, hey, there's this really cool tool. You can use this. You can use this tool. Check your belief system. I mean, it's like things like that, because you essentially need to work on your own self. You hold the answers for your own self. So I had a session outside of QHHT because I'm a light worker. So I'm always drawn to beautiful sessions, any kind of self-healing, any kind of galactical connection. I had a session with this really beautiful lady, and she lives in South Africa, Johannesburg. She just does it. She's just so in tune, and it's beautiful. And I'm in tune too, but it's also, I'm at a different level of her, again, self-esteem. I'm working on that. It's like I became aware of it, and it's like, okay, let's be gentle about it. Obviously, I can't just switch just like that and be like, great, there it is. It's checked. It's a process. It's self-love. It's definitely something that you have to continuously work on. You want those abs? Well, you're not going to just get them by saying it. You have to physically do it, and you have to exercise that muscle. And we're creatures of habit. So sometimes the other habit has kicked back in because that's the habit you had been practicing. So that one's pretty good. It's got that rhythm, the law of rhythm. So it's got momentum, and we've gave it plenty of momentum because we keep focusing on it and we keep repeating it. And we're like, oh yeah, bad talk. So, knock ourselves down. We're good at it because somehow we trust that. Isn't that ironic and weird at the same? This is like so bizarre. How can we trust that we're like that we can even talk to ourselves that way, right? Because we're these mighty beings. We hold God in us. We're amazing. We just don't give ourselves that credit for being amazing and all-knowing and, oh, I'm not this, oh, I'm that. And it's interesting. I want to read you guys something. And I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to take my boy for a walk. So I did that with her. And I had some karmic, my soul has lived so many lives. And if you listen to Dolores Cannon, she explains that we come here to learn all. Learn everything, good or bad. Check her out, DoloresCannon.com. Find her videos. She's amazing. And she says it. She's like, we come here to live all these lives, right? But as human, and as you're on the planet Earth, Earth is emotions. This planet has emotions. So as soon as you come into the body, you have this virtual or kind of like a bag or a sack of emotions from the last time, because after you pass, with each life, you review that life and you're like, oh, I didn't want to do that. Okay, well, let's work that out. So I have sadness. I have, you open your bag of emotions, like this soul part of you, and goes, oh, all right, well, these are the things I need to work on the next time I go into a body. I know it's more outside the box than most people can understand, but we're amazing. And when we leave Earth and we leave the body, we want to fix it, because our true self, our true nature is love and light and kindness and joyful and laugh, but not always can we have those things right away in some of the lives that we choose, because it's depending on what we needed to learn for the next time, at the next timeline, the next, all of that. So I had some emotions and repeated patterns that needed to be cleared. And so she did that for me. She had a lot to say, and it's like, it's such a gift for me now that I see that, and that I go, wow, okay, I'm so thankful to be me, because I'm aware and I can forgive, because that is my personality. Like, I love people, I love humanity, I love animals, I love the nature, I love everything about Earth. I love Earth so much that, yeah. So it's like the passion is so there. And I'm like literally so thankful that I got to come back into a body and then become aware of what's going on. Like, I know a lot of you guys are just barely waking up, or maybe not awake. And when I say waking up and not awake, it's like your consciousness. It's like your awareness. It's like, when you're aware and you're awake, you see a bigger picture to all of it, to humanity, of what's happening, raising our vibration, and not just going and buying that car, not just going and getting that house or that job. It's so much more than that. It's this just greater purpose that you understand is out there. And although life brings me back to reality, as far as I have family, I have kids, I have that whole scene. But it just kind of just makes me thankful, because it's almost like I got another opportunity, another chance to make a difference for myself, for Mother Gaia, loving the earth. I love the earth. And when you're a lot around like a lot of nature and just things like that, you're definitely more in tune. You're definitely more in tune. You're definitely less scattered. I noticed when I lived in the city and I worked 8 to 6 or 8 to 5, whatever you want to say, the whole day, I thought, I used to drive home from work and say, and when I was younger, is this really my life? This is really how it has to be. I used to question myself because I just didn't understand. We work and then we die. That literally is it. And who did we work for? And did we have joy? Did we take that trip we really wanted to take? Did we, and not to materialize some things, but to just have joy, I think was really it. And sometimes going on a trip brings such joy. And I had to let go of some things. I had a repeated pattern of, not in this life, but kind of, because I met my husband and I got completely out of these crazy men trying to control me. First is, it was a repeated pattern. I was the man controlling the woman, and back and forth, right? And then I come into this life, I'm a woman. My whole beginning life, as far as being into the guys, it was like that for me. I was very controlled by men, horribly bad situations. And then I met my husband, and what a blessing. And it brings me to tears because it's just like, wow. Isn't that amazing what lessons we can go through? And it can be anything for you guys. I mean, that's just my experience, and I'm putting it out there. And I know you guys have experiences like that, if not similar, maybe a little different. Maybe we had something else that is a repeated pattern. I am so grateful. And balancing your chakras, knowing that you hold this beautiful energy in your body. It's called life. God gives you that breath. You never have to worry about your second breath because you just keep breathing. You never worry. You just are like, here we go. I got to do this today. And you are breathing. That's a gift of life. It's a gift of God flowing through you. However you want to look at God. You don't have to say God. You can say the source. You can say whatever you want to say that represents this beautiful power that gave us life. Sure, we had our parents to give us our body. Our parents gave us our body, the DNA, like the who you look like and how your body's structured. Thank you, parents. We don't even have to have that close. If you're not that close to your parents, I get it. Maybe there was a lesson. So I realized for me there was something there that I needed to focus on. A forgiveness, a love, because I chose them for a reason. And I'm not super close to them, but I love them. And that's okay. I think you have to accept some things and make it as it's okay. Yeah. The gift of life. The gift that if you want, you can choose to be in your highest, greatest version of yourself. Greatest version of yourself, right? What does that look like? How would you like to be? What is your greatest version of yourself? Right? I think to me that's the coolest part because, wow, we can really think of ourselves as the greatest version of ourselves. Look good, feel good, and do good. And why is, some people judge that as like, oh, that's not how it's supposed to be. And why? Why can't we just choose good and have that rhythm of constantly good coming to us? That's all what we want. Our higher self knows it. But the ego, like I was just saying, is like, it can't let you. So you've let the ego control you for so long. So long. And it's almost like now you need to take it back. You need to take your thoughts back, right? And say, wait a minute, did that make me feel good? if you get in an argument, don't indulge in that argument. Maybe take a break and don't respond so quickly. Hey, thank you for coming. I love when you come on here. Yeah. Mostly like I've noticed in my, oh, it's so nice to see you on my page. I love it. Thank you. It's what I was saying is, I kind of lost my train of thought. That's okay. It's just really like always finding the good in yourself, always knowing that you can make your own choices that are good for you and that it's not a cutthroat world. It's not ridiculous for you to choose good. I think some people feel that way because they're like, oh, that's not realistic. And it's like, why? Has it been working for you to be unrealistic? Has it been working for you to talk yourself down everywhere, like all parts of yourself? Does that work for you? I don't know anyone that it works for them to always be negative. It is, but most likely it doesn't work for you to always be negative. It usually leaves you in this state of unease, which is disease. Holy moly. So be very careful with being uneased. I love it. Compassion, acceptance. It's so true. We just need to be passionate about what we have and compassionate to others and ourselves. I think it all starts with ourselves, and accepting yourself. So what? We look different. We're still human. We're still the same there, right? Right. Like your prescription to heal the world is loving and healing yourself, is knowing that you're this mighty being and that whatever is perfect for you is perfect for you, and trusting it and loving it. And when you do that, yeah. And when you do that, it's so easy for you to love others. It's so easy for you to help people. It's so easy for you to laugh. It's so easy for you to be joyful. It's so easy to just be a true natured person who's compassionate, who's loving, who's joyful. It just feels better when you lean towards that. Yeah. Yeah, when you're repeating that and really exercising this new habit of joy and of ease, and life isn't hard. It's simple, but we say it out loud and we trust that it's hard. We trust that. And why do we trust that? I mean, that's a good question for your own self. Why do we trust that life is so hard? Why? Because it's not. Those days that you were like that, they're gone. Today's a new day. Today's a new you. Those days that you were dwelling on, oh, it's hard. Oh, because I've been there. I was that way, right? And now they're gone. And now what do you have? Right. You're uneased. You're unsure. You don't trust yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You don't love yourself. And so today it's like the angels are coming in, your guidance system's coming in, and they're like, there's so much love for you. I love you. It's so easy. Trust it, right? Just trust you. We all have a beautiful gift that we were given, that we got to choose before we came here. And whatever it is, you can be an artist, you can be a dancer, you can be whatever it is. Maybe you're a nurse and you're a fantastic nurse. You are God's gift to the world nurse, right? I mean, why not? Why can't we lean towards the good, the better, the great, the easy, the simple, the gentle, the loving, the joyful? Why can't we? I feel like there's a lot of judgment towards really being easy on ourselves and really loving ourselves and really loving our gift. And I just feel like my gift is to just be Because when I'm around people, people are like, oh, I needed you. And it's like, you just needed someone to reflect that beautifulness in you. That's it. And that's maybe what I offer. Maybe. I know. I love doing these podcasts, and I just never want to put out like, you have to. You'll never do it right if you don't do it like this. Right. I don't ever want to put that out. I just want the world, not even just the United States, not even just one country. I want the world to be happy and joyful. And that's how I put it out there. That's what I see, because my highest self, my best version of myself is that, is love, is compassion, is gentleness, is simple, right? And every time a person out of your life leaves, passes away, they didn't really pass away. They're just right there. And I have proof. I mean, as far as I've been through it, just in the 6 months, I've lost several people, right? And every time I get through a person that I didn't think was going to leave, they leave. And I'm like, oh, and it checks me every time. It throws me for a loop, because I'm like, whoa, 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 wait a minute, right? But afterwards, when you know that they're not in pain or they're not suffering, and you know that they're their true positive pure self on the other side, and they're this beautiful angel or whatever it is, you go through this like release of being like, it's okay, they're just right there. And as you raise yourself up and you're the best version of yourself, yeah, when you're the best version of yourself, that love just, it's okay. It like becomes okay. It feels okay. It's your body also, like with your soul, this beautiful melody, right? Because we're a multi-dimensional being, higher self, angels. You're in this body. You're the soul that lives many lives, but not the same life. Certainly not. And maybe I don't want to limit that. I don't want to, now that I say it out loud, I wouldn't want to limit that, because it's infinity. It's any way it needs to be for you. So maybe it's a repeated thing, um, repeated life. And there's no such thing as time. Time is linear. It's only your reality of what you want. Right. That's so true. With a different little, right. It's so true. Um, I love Bashar. Obsessed. I think I've started with Bashar at the very beginning of all of my. I had a friend show me him, and I wasn't awake. I was so like, who is this person, and what is he doing exactly? How does he know this, and why is he Bashar if his real name is Daryl? I had no idea about channeling. I had no idea. I was so asleep that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I love Bashar. He's a great teacher. He's definitely my mentor. I follow him. I listen to all of his, but not just him. I have several mentors that I love, but I always usually listen to Dolores's daughter, Julia, and Kaya. They're on Facebook. Hi, thanks for coming to my page. Yeah, and so I can trust him. So when people ask him questions, he will give a true answer. I feel like I can trust that, and I love that, because there's a lot of things out there that we can't always trust when we listen to it. Yeah. Yeah, I go through phases where I'm like really listening to him, and then maybe I don't for a little bit, and now I'm back to it. I know, it's so true, because he's just magnificent. So I think his next show is all about Ghost and like that whole scene. And that's what I like to get into, because I think that, almost everyone has lost someone who they've dearly loved, like so much that it's got their heart. Um, and And I think this would be a good way of working with it and letting people really heal and know that their loved one is just right there. Because I all the time get my last lady, I'm a senior caregiver as well. Um, because I love seniors. I feel like they're a gift for us. And I feel like if we can take anything from them, it's a blessing because they've been through it. They've been through it. They're up there in age, man. They've been through all of it. And I wasn't even thought of it some of the times, it's like, um, I suppose so. And what would you like to talk about if you want to talk? Um, Bashar talks about ghosts this time, so it'll be really cool to hear what he has to say. And it's so funny because the other day I was just like, I need something, right? I'm looking for something, like a message or an answer. Please send me something. Okay. Um, and he said, the mind doesn't know how it's going to happen, whatever it is. The mind is designed to know how things are happening. So when they're actually happening, that's when the mind is brilliant at figuring shit out. Basically. Um, but it doesn't know before the fact. So that's what gets us. Right. And that message was a 10-year-old message when Bashar was in Daryl's body 10 years ago. And it's so funny because I like listening to that. And Daryl was so hyper. Bashar was so hyper. Yeah, exactly. It's so true. Quit overthinking. Um, because your mind is just not designed to know beforehand. It only knows when it's only designed to know the physical experiences. So when it's actually happening. And how funny we are. Being a human, for some people, it's not easy. It's so hard. um, it's one of the hardest things, I think. And a lot of people are looking for guidance and understanding. And when they find it, and when they find someone who they can listen to and resonate with, it will help them. And that's all it is all I'm doing is just being the tool that helps you as it helps me become the best version of myself. So I've lived lots of lives where I would come in. So going back to my session, I've lived lives where I've been burned at the stake. I would come in and they would think I'm a witch. And they were just times that it was just that way. And obviously I was coming in to bring in beautiful knowledge and beautiful guidance. Yeah, those are who I listen to too. I love Abraham. She is the master of limit ahead of law of attraction. And so that's helped me with that. Yeah, Louise Hay. She's so wonderful. I love Louise Hay. She is wonderful. That's I love all this stuff. To me, learning about my chakras, learning that we even had chakras and that we needed to balance it. I like Joe because Joe is going with like the human side of us, blending into this beautiful, like multidimensional being. So he comes out a little different, which I appreciate because so many of us go with the human part of us. I am like, I'm all about the other side. I'm all about the spiritual and the connection and the multidimensional being. And that's why I like Joe. And, ooh, I'm going to have to listen to her. Carolyn. Okay. Yeah, there are a lot. There's definitely a lot out there. Yeah. So with me going through all those death scenes like that kind of held on to my Akashic records of just my soul going through what it needed to. And this girl released it, which I needed. And I never cried so hard. It's amazing the release that you get. Ooh, I can't wait to check her out. Thank you for that. But yeah, I got this release that I needed. There was this pattern that kept presenting itself to me. And so sometimes we do look to others. Church. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I've lived lots of religious lives, as well as like, going under. I can see, well, doing QHHT, that's the cool part. We can tap into our Akashic records, all the lives we've lived, not you as you now. I mean, your soul has lived these lives. They had different personalities, different bodies. Whether you believe it or not, that is what Dolores speaks about. She talks about, but we hold that energy. So I love the tree of life. I love the chakras. Yes, right. I love it. Um, and I needed to release it. Yeah, I had that. I kept bringing it. It must have just surfaced, and she saw it, and she was like, "Okay, we need to clear that." And I was like, "Thank you." Right? We needed that clearing. Um, and she told me, she's like, "Okay, Jen, you literally need to balance your sacral chakra the most. That's the most." She did some work on me. Oh, I would love to. So I also do BQH, and that's called Beyond Quantum Healing. That technique was developed by one of Dolores's first class students. Her name is Candace. She's amazing. Um, and that's more of it's a gentle way of connecting. You bring in your angels. You're not necessarily in the deepest trance, but you're in the trance where you still can. And so we can do it through Zoom, any of the social media, however you want to connect. I'm almost done with the course, which since I know QHHT, I know I can nail the voice. I can nail the being a great practitioner. So if you ever want to do that, yes, I would love it. Okay. Trying to think of when a good time would be like. Um, anyway, when I'm finished with it, I'm almost done. I want to be like completely finished with the course. But it's another way of releasing things and clearing so that you can be. See, that's perfect. I love how you said that. It's like we will connect. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. But just putting it out there in the universe and trusting it. And I had a little bit of stuff going on, so I've been quite busy. I wasn't even sure if I could make it on here today, but I'm glad I did. Um, yeah. So Bashar also says all humans need to do is. I just have to share this with you. Act on your highest excitement that you're capable of acting on. Like whatever you are capable of starting with, start that. It's like, don't quit your job because it's miserable right off the bat. Start learning something new while you're doing that job. You don't want to just jump off the cliff. I mean, you definitely want to do it in a smart way, right? So it's like, okay, don't like your job. That's okay. Learn something new while you're still there. That way, when you quit your job, you can go right to that something new that you just learned. And then you're living your true passion. You chose something that fit you. You chose something that feels good to you. And you're no longer miserable with the job that you had to have, or it was just there. So you just took it because you have to eat and you have to sleep and you have to have a car and you have to, function. Um, it's amazing. Yeah. And I love Bashar too. He is the best. Yeah. And it said if you stopped acting on your highest good, then it stops the process of the next thing that is good. So just like I was saying, it's like this rhythm. And when you put it out there and you're like, oh, this is good. I really, really always wanted to paint my whole life. And now I get to paint for this company because I took a chance and I did it. And now I'm happy every day. Every day I wake up and I'm like, yay, I get to go to work. Like not many people do that. And I do that because I love to be a senior caregiver. I love to be a practitioner. So I've chose things that I wake up and I'm literally so thankful and so happy and just so excited for my day. Sure, it has little bumps and hiccups, but I don't I don't let those really affect me. I usually am like, do I need to respond to that so fast? Do I need to be so blunt about whatever it is so fast? Why can't I just almost, it's like they say, take a chill pill almost, but it's like not responding to someone who's negative or they're a mess. And you see that clearly because when you feel good in your own self, you can see those people. You can see them. You're like, okay, it's all right. You just give them love. And that's another reason why I like Louise Hay, because she is like, at the beginning of your day, if you can send it out, send love down your path for the day. So you know what you generally have to do that day. And some of us that don't, we'll have the day off and we'll just be like, I'm not sure what I'm doing today. That's okay. But put love to it, whatever it is. Send love that way, whatever it is. Just send it out into your path. Think love. Think that it will always work out for you. Think that good will come to you. Her quotes are like, all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. And out of this situation or experience, only good will come. And I am safe. I love that one. I thought that was good. And then you could say, like, everything that I need to know is revealed to me. Everything that comes to me is in the perfect time and space sequence. Right. And I have learned that we don't always stay positive 100% of the time. And I am including myself in this knowledge. As much as possible, I see life as a wonderful, joyful experience. I mean, those are the things you could say that if you had a little bit of a struggle that morning, if you woke up a little down and a little not feeling that best, you could just say those things in your head. You are magnificent. You are amazing. You are a brilliant person. You are meant to be here. You are meant to hear this. You are meant to be here it's like you're at the right time, at the right place. Yeah. And I think it's really important to tell yourself that you are safe because that calms the ego down. Because the ego is the one that gets you riled up anyway, not the higher self, not the beautiful self of yourself. The greater good, the greater best version of yourself is easy, is gentle, is simple, is joyful, is loving. It's never riled up like that. It's always the ego that's riled up, doubtful, mad, whatever you want to, negative, negative, negative. And you'll see that. And when you become aware that that's happening, then you can, dial yourself in. What's the best version of you? What do you like? What do you like? Did you always want to do this? Did you always want to be a dancer? Did you always want to be a pianist? Right? It's amazing. Yeah. The other one is like, I love Abraham Hicks too, because when they talk to you, they are the masters of communicating with the masters, which is us, of limitation. We're masters of limiting ourselves. We're the masters of limitation. That's what Bashar always says. That's why I love Bashar. He's taught me that. He is also a master of communicating with the masters of limitation. So as we're in these human bodies, we're masters, right? We're already masters, but we're really masters at limiting ourselves. Oh, we can't have that. Oh, no. You're not that good. Oh, no. You're not that good. You're not good as that person over there who's got the 10 degrees of masters, like the actual book, like going to get your college masters. You compare yourself to unrealistic things. That doesn't really make you anything besides, yeah, you were good in that class. You mastered that class. But that doesn't make you any better. Because if there was a hurricane, okay, this is a great one. Hurricane just hit Florida, right? all those people in Fort Myers and all that lower area got smashed. We had friends down there, rich and poor, both, right? So all that just got wiped clean and gone and disastrous, and no electricity, no nothing like that, no running water, none of it, right? And what did they go? Oh, I went to college for 10 years and I'm a master at this. That's not going to save you. And then you get a poor person who had nothing, right? And all they know is having nothing. Guess what? They're the most loving people. They're like, hey, I just made some burgers. You want to eat? I know you're a master at doctoring and you went to school for 10 years for that, but is that going to save you? I mean, you know what I mean? When you strip away all of those things, all those conditions, you're just as equal as that person who was just as had nothing. I just couldn't even believe it. Like when our friend was telling us that, and he was like, yeah, we all got together and it was like a whole block party basically. Yeah, it's like amazing. Oh, okay. Hi. Okay. Okay. That's fine. You're okay. I was like, okay, hi. But it's true. Like, as far as that went, it was like they helped each other. They didn't look at each other and go, oh, well, where's your degree now? He wasn't like that. He was like, hey, come over. I only have so much, but I'm willing to share it with you. I only have 5 bottles of water, but I'm willing to share it with you guys. Right? That's, that's where my heart is like, oh, yeah, it's all good. No worries. But my heart goes out and it makes me realize is like, all right, wow, a beautiful, beautiful way, beautiful technique, tapping into ourselves technique. Yeah, no, it made me realize it's like, where's your money now? Where's all your stuff now? You're just as regular as I am regular, right? I thought it was a beautiful way. And I love Mother Earth like that. I love Mother Gaia. She is so amazing. She knows how to do what needs to be done. And I love those places. I love a tropical place. I love the warm air. I love the beach because I know that's Mother Gaia. I know that wherever I walk on this earth, I'm so loved by her because I love her so much as she loves me. And I feel like we just kind of need to go back to that. Why can't it be simple? I feel like we all make it so difficult and so unrealistic, really. And definitely, if you listen to Dolores, she talks about old earth, new earth. Honestly, we are in the new earth. When you hear good, good, and you start choosing good, good, that's the new earth, period. If you see all the drama and the negativity and people are killing people, that's the old earth. No one likes that. We don't like killing each other. Are you kidding me? You can even take those people who were the killers and you can strip all that away from them. And I can guarantee you they would cry like a baby, like they did not want to do it, but something came over them, right? And that's this years of bad talk, years of abuse, years of self-doubt. And boy, you can condition yourself to some sadness, right? But you can always come out of the old earth. That's the beauty of it. You can always leave the old earth, what doesn't serve you, basically. Those things don't serve you. And I know that some of those people don't have a choice. I've seen some of those stories of they literally got their ass handed to them, basically. They came down, they chose horrible parents, they chose a horrible situation, they became something horrible, right? But then when you see them and they're trying to like repent and go through I just watched a movie like that. And I don't know why I do that. Maybe I needed that to know that, they're human too. They just went through something horrible. They got really picked with something and then it kind of goes back to like Dolores. We had to be all things, right? We had to be all of even the bad things. It's like, and even I know I have. When that girl released a lot of those in my Akashic records, I had some of those horrible lives too. And I was like, I think I cried mostly to it because I'm very sensitive. I'm very loving, and I'm always giving people a second chance, second opportunity. Um, yeah. Well, I love you guys. I better go. It's already been an hour. Geez, time just flies on this. It's wonderful. But I have a full day today, and I love talking to you guys. And I always hope the best for you guys. I do. Like, I don't even know you guys, and I just always want you guys to do the best you can do and be the best you can be. And just be joyful and laugh. Try to pick some time out of the day to just laugh. Whatever makes you laugh, whatever is funny to you. I think that's really important, to just live in your joy. Choose things that make you happy. And that's, I guess, my biggest thing that I would suggest to anyone is to pick joy. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for all the downloads. I'm so grateful. I'm just grateful that you guys resonate with me. I'm grateful that I have a voice and that I can express it. And I don't have to be ridiculed, burned at the stake, right? Isn't that crazy? If we tried this 100 years ago, 200 years ago, right? Even 50 or 60 years ago. Wow, what a blessing. 2022, it's almost over. How beautiful of a year it's been. We're going to 2023 here soon. Wow. It's so cool to be in the future like this. And when you look at it like that, you're like, wow, I'm really in the future. If you really realize you're in the future and you're here in a body and you can choose things that you like, choose the good, choose yummy food, choose good things that make you happy, make you feel good, make you do good. Yeah. So just remember, be easy on yourself, love yourself, hydrate yourself with great water, breathe some fresh air, work. That's also, I had another lady say that she was having panic attacks. You need to breathe. That's your one tool that God gave you, that the source gave you, is breath. And that is your tool to get through that panic attack, to connect again to your higher self. Ask your angels, hey, I need guidance. I need help. They're right there, I promise you. Just trust it. Just trust yourself. Don't trust anyone else. Or, it's like, don't take in all the other drama. If it's negative, I mean, if someone's giving you great suggestions, great. But if it's negative, set it aside. See what serves you. See what's the best for you. I love you guys. I hope you have a really, really lovely weekend. Great day. Enjoy your day. Laugh. Be kind. Open the door for others. Be careful with the music. The new music is interesting. I think we need to be aware of that. I think that needs to come out more and more and more. Is just be aware of the new music. It brings you down. And when you say stuff with true meaning, it can happen. Remember, you are powerful. So remember, when you're singing those songs and they're not matching with your life, divorce and all that crap, don't be careful saying that stuff out loud. Because sometimes when we sing with such, just like we really can almost believe it. And that is how we manifest stuff. So, and even watching TV, be careful with that. Subliminal messages, subliminal things coming in. Yeah. Choose good. You'll feel good if you do that. You will. In whatever it is. You guys are amazing. Remember that. You're masters. You are mighty beings. And we're all living on this really incredible live planet. Mother Gaia, she loves us. Okay, have a great day. Take care. Bye, guys.